I started making music when I was 8 years old. I always had music around me when I was a kid growing up.
It's all about creativity. It's just a big playground, you know. We're just having a really good time.
You can reach people and inspire people and, open up people's minds into the possibilities.
I like to be proud of my own songs. I want to make good records.
I'm trying to create a certain sonic universe, creating this kind of magic.
And this is our soundtrack to creativity.
Now, kicking off the Hot Seat interview series for 2014 with a very special guest indeed. He's one of the prize picks of Revealed Recordings' global overhaul, a man who has matched Titanic production duties with an unprecedented global presence over the past 12 months. His name is Geordie Van Egmond, but you know him on dance floors across the globe as Dyro. Geordie, my man, how goes it?
Yeah, good man, how are you?
Pray tell, where did your New Year's shenanigans take place for 2013?
New Year, I did a show in Calgary, which was really cool. Did it together with Hardwell, and it was a good show.
Now, the last time we spoke was in October, when of course you had just become the highest new entry of the DJ Mag Top 100 poll, coming in at number 30, and you'd already had a pretty damn good year, to say the least. Is it fair to say that you signed off 2013 on a considerable high?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I never expected to be this high. You hear some rumors here and there during the AD, and to actually become the highest new entry of this year was a complete high for me, and so unexpected. And it's a great recognition, to end the year.
What was great about your output for 2013 was that you seemed to go for a real quality over quantity approach, while at the same time trying some very new things with your sound. Was this a conscious effort on your part?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always more about quality over quantity, and I'm always trying to develop my sound, basically making a compromise between what's hot and what I like the best, So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job, and the releases were all good response in it, like good charters and stuff. So it was good.
For all the popularity we've seen facing the big room sound, there's also been a considerable wave of cynicism towards the sheer volume and repetition of its values. Where do you sit on this particular argument? Do you think creatively the scene's suffering?
Yeah, it's. I think it's getting really easy to make music, and I actually had a good conversation about it yesterday with W&W. The thing is that what's really popular right now, the distorted kick drum and the trancey drops and stuff. It's very new, so it's popular right now. But we lack quality. It's the same if beer was invented for the first time. There was just one beer, and everybody was drinking that beer. But over the course of the year, there came new beers. And people could make decisions, and maybe they found out that the first beer was actually pretty rubbish compared to the newer ones, So I think it's just because it's very new that everything is really cool at the moment, even though the quality is lacking.
The sheer volume of talent that we're now seeing within the industry is at an all-time high, to say the least. Do you think, given the spotlight that's now on the industry, it's become easier or harder for young artists such as yourself to really breach the surface and get themselves recognised?
There's two sides to that. It's very easy to start making music. It's very easy to make good music nowadays because there are the tutorials for anything, and you can find anything online you want to do. So in that way, making music is easier, but it's becoming harder to get into this scene that we're doing now because it's getting more and more popular. Everybody's trying to do this at the moment.
Your final stint of 2013 was You Gotta Know on Revealed alongside Radbound, a big vocal track and something a little different from you, to say the least. Tell me, were there any apprehensions on your part approaching the realm of vocal dance music, given the sort of love-hate relationship the industry seems to hold with it in the modern market?
It's always a bit nervous, I never did a solid vocal track before, so yeah, it was kind of I don't know, it was just trying, I don't know, I didn't really know what to expect of it, but I think it did very well.
You are, of course, a staple talent in the Revealed Recordings roster, and it's been absolutely fascinating to watch your career unfold from the sidelines. Tell me, what do you consider to have been the most crucial thing you've taken away from your time with the label, and what does it mean to have such devout support from Robert?
When I started making music, I was just a bedroom producer, I really didn't have any experience on playing shows and really didn't know what people expected at shows. So I was really actually making music for myself and my friends maybe, So once I started touring and hanging out with guys like Robert and then obviously I learned to DJ, 2013 was my year that I developed my DJ side, but also I started developing an ear for what crowds want and what people expected at shows. So that was a good thing for me.
That leads nicely on to my next question, because rather than being a homegrown success story, you somewhat bypassed the live Dutch scene and exploded to a more globally facing career path, most likely because of the fact that you were a producer first and foremost. Talk us through your experience of starting from outside the homeland comfort zone and the challenges you faced balancing an international career at such a young age.
Like I said, I started as a producer, not really as a DJ. And like, to give an example, Danik was really a DJ before he started producing. So he started in Holland. You know, it's very hard to start in any other country as a DJ. You know, you have to grow popularity in your home country first. But I became popular over my music. So I wasn't really into DJ. I was more into making music. I mean, now I am. Now I love to DJ right now. However, I'm still a producer by heart. But like, you know, you kind of surpass it because like music is international and like DJing is, you have to start in your own country, you know?
An interesting fact here for you. According to recent research by Just Go, you were, in fact, the artist with the highest increase in Twitter followers for 2013 within the electronic dance sphere. To me, that really goes to show where fandom and fan interaction generally is headed within the modern market. How important is this sort of social platform to you? And do you ever fear that this sort of technology can make fan interaction something of an impersonal affair?
I think it's very good to be so close to fans. You know, it's very personal, and you have the chance to actually speak to people, and people have the chance and the opportunity to share their thoughts with you in a very personal way. It can get really bad as well because people do weird stuff in order to get your attention. I mean, I have people shouting or saying the weirdest things on Twitter, like cursing me out or whatever, and once you respond actually to them, they kind of apologize and step back, and like that's then they say what they actually wanted to say, or like they just wanted some attention, you know. So it can be good on both sides, but also bad.
Needless to say, you come off the heels of a market year, and there are big boots to fill for 2014. We know that there are Danik and Shermanology collaborations en route, and rumour has it there's also going to be a very early revealed recording single from you in January, in fact. Tell us, what can we be expecting from you for the year ahead, and where do your priorities sit creatively?
In 2014, I'm going to focus a lot on new music, and we're going to do the new web series, Dyro's Diaries. I'm doing it together with my videographer, Tom, and I'm actually in his studio at the moment. We're working on the first episode, finalizing that at the moment. And there's a new tune coming in January. We're actually gonna premiere it in a couple of days. I played it at a couple of shows already, but I didn't really announce it yet. It's called Black Smoke, and I think it's gonna be released in the 27th of January. Other than that, there are a lot of big shows coming. I'm doing my first Australia tour for Future Music. I'm gonna do Mexico for the first time. A lot of solo tours. I signed a residency in Vegas for the Light. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I'm working on the follow-up of Never Say Goodbye with Robert as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
Now, you've probably sussed by now that I saved the most important question of the interview until last. And given that we've just seen in 2014, it only seems fit to ask, did you have a New Year's resolution? And if so, have you got any intention whatsoever of keeping it?
Honestly, I didn't really have a New Year's feeling for the first time, you know. I felt like working, so I didn't really think about a New Year's resolution. But maybe less drinking.
Whoa, don't even joke about that, man. Geordie, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks a lot for joining us here on the House Sound Built Radio, and wishing you nothing but the best for 2014.
You too, my man.